Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to get started with some leg drills. Foot drills. Leg drills and foot drills are one of the most important things in dancing. It's all about your legs and your feet. Going to give you control, going to give you style, going to give you stretch, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our feet, yes? So we're going to go ahead and do some foot drills. What I want you to do is I want you to have your legs straight. Anytime that you're doing foot drills, legs are going to be completely straight. We're going to have our legs straight with our feet slightly turned out. Remember, turned out would be this way. In would be this way. We're not going to dance in this position ever, 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 okay? So we're going to keep our feet slightly turned out, a little bit of a V when you look down, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to rise all the way up to the balls of our feet, and we're going to go down slow. If you can rise quickly and drop slowly, that would be key because that's how you're probably going to use it in dance, okay? So up quick and down slow, and I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that really good. Up quick and down slow, up quick and lower slow. If you can count to 5, up and then slow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. That would be a great way to practice, yes? So what I want you to do is I want you to extend your right foot. We're going to do the same thing, doing our foot drill. It's very important that you start at the tip of your toe, the inside edge of the tip of your big toe. So if you can see my toe on the floor, we're going to actually press down until we get to the ball of our foot. You should feel a significant difference from the, look at this, look at just the action I get from my big toe to the ball. There's a lot of action there, right? So we're going to squeeze all the way down till our heel kisses the floor, and then we're going to shoot right back up, push. You're going to end up feeling this in your calves a little bit, but I want you to be thinking about the muscles in your feet because that's what you're using as well. Those are the ones that I want you to concentrate on, okay? So here we go this way. Ball of the foot and up. And you might want to do just from the toe to the ball of the foot several times just to feel how you use that. When you land and you strike the ground, I don't want you to strike the ground here, right? Or even here. Go ahead and strike the ground with that pointed toe. You have that much more action if you would strike the ground there, okay? So I'll turn this around just so you can see. Yeah, all the way. We're going to just all the way to the ball and squeeze to the inside edge. It should be moving your entire person over and push. So not here like this. This isn't doing anything. It's not bearing any weight, right? So we're going to go ahead and pick up tall and use that foot. Right? So same thing backwards. We're going to send that foot back. As we send it back, I like to say that your toes are pointed straight down, but they still have a little bit of turnout, right? Just a little bit for now. Inside edge, like right on the corner of that toenail, and then we're going to go to the ball and squeeze down and push up. Should be moving your whole person, right? Well, and back and push forward and back and push forward. You're using your whole body. Show it to you this way. Down and push up and to the ball. Look at that movement just from the toe to the ball of my foot, right? So all the way down and push and all the way down and push, right? So if you want to practice your Latin stuff and you want to use something for Latin, you want to turn that foot all the way out. And now when you lower, your hip's going to open. You can go ahead and point that front toe. This is great foot action drills. Push, right? And then we lower. It's the same thing. You do something in Latin before you do your rock step. You want to find the floor first with that foot. You want to find it with the very tip of that toe, all the way with your foot turned out. Now when you squeeze through your foot, and you land, you have this really nice open hip. That's what you want, right? Nice straight toe. And then we push again to push us back up on the other foot. So when I'm mentioning your foot action, this is what I'm talking about. Foot action, okay? So when you hear me say foot action a little later in the tape, this is going to build. Every single drill that I give you is actually going to build on the one before. So by the end of this tape, you're going to be putting all of this stuff together, okay? We're going to move right into our leg drills, but before I give you leg drills, I need to talk a little bit about your neutral position, okay? When I mention your neutral position, it's slightly flexed, okay? And this is pretty much where we dance all the time, is in this slightly flexed position. So if you imagine your head on the ceiling when you're in this position, now anything that we do when we straighten a leg, it's taken out of our side, right? So we don't rise and fall, we don't drop at all. Our head stays on the ceiling, so we don't go off the ceiling. We stay on it in that neutral position. So when you hear me talk about neutral position a little later in the videotape, this is what we're referring to, is this nice relaxed leg, okay? So with that said, we're going to go ahead and move on to our leg drills. So what I want you to do is we're going to apply our foot drills with our leg drills. So we're going to go ahead and march it out. We're going to knead the floor kind of like a cat. Meow. Knead the floor, knead the floor, knead the floor, right? And when we do this, we're going to go all the way up to the tip of the toe. When the tip of the toe hits the floor, it's going to have pressure, it's going to have weight, right? And we're going to use that. And I want you to do that a couple of times, literally like you're smushing a bug under your toe. That's nasty, but it's true. You want to act like you got something under there that you really want to hold down, right? So that needs to bear weight. Then to the ball, and then push down to the floor as you develop this leg. When we do that, we'll be dancing through what? Our neutral, there it is, position as one develops and the other one develops the other way. And what this does is it causes contrast, right? And that's what we want. We want contrast in our legs. That's what looks good, right? We don't want to be running around in this neutral position all the time looking like that. We want to straighten and bend our legs. So dancing through neutral is going to keep you nice and flat and steady, right? And then developing all the way up to the tip of the toe is going to give you as much contrast as you can get, pushing the knee of that straight leg back. Switch, right? So marching it out, that's what I want you to be thinking about. When you're marching it, this is going to be quiet. It's going to be quiet. We shouldn't be like this. This means you're not using your feet, right? But if you're quiet, now I know you're using those muscles in your feet and you're actually applying your foot drill with the leg drill, okay? So from here, what I want you to do, as we march, we're going to take our right foot out to the side. And we're going to go ahead and march out to the side. Now when we do that, our left foot still bears a little bit of weight. So we can't go up to the toe of this foot because it bears weight. So we can only go to the ball, right? As we do that, they're even, right? We send our foot out. This is a foot drill. We lower. Here's our neutral position, switch it, left leg develops, right leg straightens, and switch, and out, and switch, and out, and switch. I'll turn that around for you. Out, and switch, and out, and switch. So as our right heel lowers, our left heel comes up, and you can see right about here, I'm in neutral position. I push my right foot down and continue to lift my left heel up. Okay? We'll do that on the other side too. And march, and out, and march, and out, and march, and out, and march. And you can change that up any way you want. You can go ahead and do this way and this way, whatever you want to do to practice it. Put a slow song on and go through that, whatever you want to do. But you just need to get that done. If one side's easier to focus on, then you can do that one side, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the back drill. So we're going to drop this foot back. Don't forget to add your foot drill, right? Just because we're thinking about legs here, I don't want you to be just plopping down. Use your feet. Remember, these are building blocks. So we're going to continue to do the very first drill that we did. Out, and march, and out, and march, and back, and march, and back, and march. It does not matter. You need to play with this one. You need to go barely dropped, and march. You need to go big drop back, and march. But either case, you need to be sure that you push that heel to the floor and you get all of the stretch you can get out of that back leg and all of the stretch you can get out of this front leg. Remember, if the front leg doesn't bear weight, you can go up to the tip. In these drills, it's going to bear a little bit of weight, so you can see that I can only go to the ball of my foot since it bears weight, right? So other foot back, and march, and left foot back, and march, and left foot back, and march, and left foot back. And you see how I'm passing through this neutral position all the time. Both of my heels are off the floor, and switch, and back, and switch, and back, and switch. Yes? So I just want to make sure that you understand that. That's so important. It's one of the most important things in dancing. Do that every day. I promise you it will change your dance life. You will look like a better dancer just with good legs and feet. So, what I want to talk to you about, the other most important thing, important thing about your dancing is your walk, especially for you ladies. Anytime that you have the opportunity to take a step forward without rotation, it would be fantastic if you could do it on a straight leg. Remember, in dancing, you know, we have to be flex knees a lot. We're prepping, we're rotating, we're spinning, we're doing a lot of different things no matter what your dance is. So when you have an opportunity to take a straight leg sexy walk, straight legs, that's sexy. Bent legs, not so much. Straight legs, sexy, pretty, right? So that's what we want to think about. So what we're going to do is we're just going to walk. I'll back up a little bit and we're just going to walk forward. We're going to go straight, 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 straight. I'm going to back that up. Back, 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 back. And as you can see, when I take my walks, your natural leg action on a walk is for your back leg to bend as your front leg is straight. Now, if this step is too big, I'm going to cause rise and fall, right? I won't be able to straighten it until my weight gets over it, which is going to cause rise and fall. If my step is shorter, then I can land on a straight leg, right? Which is what I want to do. So we want to go straight. I like to take it, these are, let's just say these are West Coast swing, possibly two-step walks. Some other casual dances where we can take walks stepping straight forward. Walk, walk, walk. I like to strike the ground with a heel lead first. Some people teach that differently. I don't really care either way, whatever you prefer, but straight leg, right? Straight. If you're not sure of your natural stride, it's anything that's bigger than your natural stride. So if you want to figure that out, let's just put your right toe next to your left instep. Put your hand on your right leg. Don't lift up at all. Leave it right there. Make sure it doesn't lift up. Straighten your leg, flex your foot, and land. That's the size of your natural stride. So anything bigger than that, you're going to have to reach, bend, and then straighten, causing that rise and fall. So it's probably not very big. Your natural stride is not very big. So we were walking, and now when you step backwards, it's the same type of action, right? So as we step backwards, we're still going to have that nice straight leg, relaxed hip, okay? And we're going to get into our hips and our core just a little bit later. But as you step back, I want you to remember that we're going to brush our ankles on every step, right? So we brush back, we let our foot fall to the inside just barely. We're not walking a tightrope here, right? No walking a tightrope. We're not doing that. Our feet are on separate skis and we want to keep them that way. So as we walk forward, our ankles brush, right? And then we step back and our ankles brush, our jeans brush by one another, and we straighten that leg, not too big of a step. So backwards walk should be just as sexy as forward walks, right? So if you need to go and practice this at your office, you can ask your friends, anybody need coffee? I'll go get coffee. Coffee, anybody? And you can practice your walk, okay? So just be sure that you work on that walk all the time. It's kind of a way of life, but a little bit sexier. So the other thing that I want to talk about is if you're doing any Latin dancing, I want to talk about those walks as well because that's a different action. We tend to dance West Coast swing and two-step a little bit more at the back of the bus, so we're able to take that heel lead. What we're going to do in Latin is we're going to really use that back foot like a foot drill to move us onto our front foot. As we strike the ground, it'll be more with a toe lead because as we land on it, our weight is completely forward. All right, so when we go through this, and I'm not going to get too much into this, but that hip will lead this next step. It'll lead that next step, and it'll make our rotate. We'll brush our ankle, point our foot, and leg action in the back, foot action in the back to move you over that front foot. So we're going to go, I'll go straight at the camera again. So here from this, forward, and forward, and forward, really using that back foot. Now what makes these straight legs, especially in a Latin walk, look so good? This part coming through, right? So when we follow through with this leg, it's this nice contrast before we point and push over our foot, right? Hip leads, push with that back foot, push with that back foot, right? So again, point, push, push, and push, and push. Yes? So, what I want you to do is practice those, walking. I can't tell you how important walking is, especially when you're talking about being sexy, right? Practice your sexy walks. Don't take too big of steps. Keep them nice and small. Whether you decide to take a heel lead, whether you decide to take a toe lead, practicing your Latin, either way, just get it right. Land on that straight leg and take advantage of every opportunity that you have to use that straight leg. Okay?